Hello and welcome back everyone. In today's episode I wanted to show you something that is not really Zippo related. I did realize that in the past few days the Zippo videos tend to get the most viewership, but nonetheless I thought maybe you guys would find this interesting. And what I'm going to show you guys is what I purchased recently from the internet, and it is this. Now I'm sure because you read the title you know what it is, but if you were to see this just laying about you wouldn't think much of it, right? I mean, it just seems like a piece of metal, or maybe some sort of a machine part. I don't know what it is, but no, in reality, in fact, it's actually a Paratrooper knife, a folding Paratrooper knife. I've also heard of this called as a Pantographic knife, I believe. And the way this knife works, it's out the front knife, but it's not a switchblade because it's not fast deploying like a switchblade. You open up this latch and then you pull these legs apart and the blade comes out the front, just as it said, you know, OTF, out the front. And you close this down and you get a little handle and a knife. There you go. Now, from different sources, people will tell you that this is a paratrooper knife and that the German paratroopers had this on them, and the reason why it folds up in this configuration is because, well, you would not want to be stabbed as you're jumping out of the airplane. Now I don't know how true it is. I've found some conflicting reports. People will tell you like, yeah, it was meant for paratroopers, and no one ever carried it. No army ever issued it, and so on and so forth. These are relatively cheap, not super cheap, but around $30. I bought it for $30 from eBay, and the camera doesn't seem to be wanting to focus on it for whatever reason. I'll just put it down. And yeah, as you look for it, most of them, if not all of them, had this ghastly looking swastika and Hitler Youth and yada yada yada, all sorts of BS written on it, which I kind of thought takes away from the niceness of the blade. So I just got a plain one, except for here. Let me see if it'll zoom in, if it'll focus enough to where I could show you what it says here. It's not. Oh, there it is. Stainless steel, you know, stainless Taiwan, and the other side says nothing. Now, a few things I'll tell you. This knife is more of a novelty than anything else. I do not intend to use it, but if you think of using it, let me show you a few things that, you know, I think are a bit, I guess, low quality, you could say. But let me show you. First of all, it's got severe blade wobble. You can see this. Look, my right hand's gonna stay stationary here. You see that? I'm just grabbing the tip here and I can move it all the way around. 360, I got a bit of a wobble back and forth. That's one thing. Another thing is the deployment is horrendously slow. I mean, if you plan to carry this, you wouldn't have to know what your cutting task is beforehand, and, you know, just plan out to open this thing up and have it be ready. And believe me, I've tried oiling all of these little pivots. It helps just a little bit, not at all, not too much. And another thing is, this is straight out of the box. Let me show you the box. I don't know if I did. Here it is. It comes in a little cardboard box, and it was inside this bag, and that's all you get. I mean, it's not really a case. You just throw this away after you get the knife. Just wanted to show you how that looked. But this is straight out of the box, and I have a receipt paper here. Receipt paper tends to be pretty uniform no matter where you are, so I'm just gonna try to cut it. This is the ultimate test for me, is if your knife can somehow get a cut into receipt paper, then you've got it to be where it's like workably sharp. But this seems to be not wanting to do that. Let's try ordinary paper. Come on. Nothing. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video and try to put an edge on this, and then I'll start it up again and we'll see how it works. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now we're back. Took me a while to sharpen this. If you're wondering, I'm using the Lansky sharpening system, which a really good friend of mine gave me. Wolf, if you're watching this, man, thanks for the Lansky. It's really cutting, no pun intended, it's cutting my sharpening time in half, and it's getting the blades sharper than pretty much ever before. Despite that, this blade was in a terrible state, so I had to do some heavy duty work on the blade here, because there was a big chip I kind of ground out. It was right around here. It looked like someone had taken this and like whacked something made out of iron or steel, maybe against a nail or something, even though it's a brand new knife. I don't know how that happened, but anyways, I tried my best, and I tried a little bit. It's not as sharp as I want it to be, but it's better than nothing. It's cutting it, but it's not what I would consider a refined edge. But yeah, overall, I think this is a very interesting knife. Again, as I said, it's more of a novelty than anything else. But if you're wondering if it could be used as a regular knife, yeah, I mean, definitely, it is a knife. I even put a point on this in case, so it does cut. That's not the issue here. As I was opening and closing this, I did notice something. One thing also, when you I found out it's easier to open and close it by just opening it here, grabbing it here in the middle, and then pulling it shut like that. And then for opening, just pull it here, put the thumb here, and just press it forward, and then that's it. That's how it works. But as I had it closed like this, wait, there we go. As this was closed like this, I looked at the bottom here, and I noticed that this is a pretty neat, nice place to not necessarily make it as sharp as a razor, but if you were to take a file to it, and I might do this in the future, is that make this a bit sharper, and I'll do this probably in a future video, of course. This would be a good prying point, or like a little bit of a scraper, or yeah, just pretty much a prying point for the knife. You're still using the blade, but it's not the main blade, and definitely not the tip where it's more susceptible of breaking. Another thing that I thought about was, of course, you see you can't have it be too sharp because you're using your thumb to press that blade out the front. But another thing that would be kind of interesting would be to kind of sharpen this saw blade in the back. I don't know if it's intended for sawing or whatnot. I mean, it's a pretty nice fish scaler right now, but I'm sure that's not what they meant it for, to scale fishes with. But no, this would be a nice little tree saw, just saw branches and whatnot if you get caught in a tree, if you're a paratrooper, I guess. But yeah, overall, I think this is an interesting knife. Would I recommend it as daily? Definitely not. It's a massive blade. You don't carry this daily. But again, novelty device, conversation piece. Why not? Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. If you want me to do more knife reviews or Zippo reviews and whatnot, hit a like button if you like this video. Subscribe to see more videos like this. And I will see you next time. Bye.